Alright, what's up guys? So, it's been a while since I've done a story time video, but I've been recently inspired by my good friend Ray Rahimi. I'm pretty sure you guys know who she is if you've most likely seen me react to her videos. But yeah, her main channel is Hot Tea. But she did a story time video. She was talking about like her like a trip that she took and how everything was just failing. And yeah, I'm like, it's messed up at times. I'm like, it's this. That's not what this is about. It's like like just completely all the way on the other side. Like that has nothing to do with trips or vacations or any of that stuff. This is actually talking on how I got this cafe job in Seattle. And overall, like I think I'll probably do like some like probably just like tell you guys like how it all started for me at the beginning, and then just work my way into telling you guys like some of the customers I dealt with, some of the incidents that happened there, like literally just giving you guys like the whole spill up until like my last day there and stuff. I should tell you guys about the dream I even had about that place. Let me just tell you guys about that real quick. But anyways, at this cafe job, so it was me and my supervisor that was the like owners or like the managers of this is the dream that I had. But in the dreams, me and him was like the managers of like or he was the manager of the other two locations because they were smaller and not a whole lot of people would go through there. And I was the manager of the bigger location because I was like even like out of the dream like real life. I told like the managers, the co-workers, the customers, and literally everybody, I'm like the busiest location. That's the location I like because I'm like there's something to do. Like you could either be wiping down the counters or on the registers. Like you can do something. So I was managing that whole cafe by myself. But in the dream, the power had shut down. I couldn't make any food. Literally customers was leaving, so I remember in the dream I got so upset and I just closed the door and I'm like literally everybody just get out. I'm like just go home, get out, like I don't care where you go, just leave this area. And I was so mad. I was just like, bro, why would the power go out like right now in the middle of the day? But yeah, the 4 years I worked there, the power never did go out. Everything was cool and all, but there was some like bad weather days where I'm like, yo, the power might go out today. But anyways, so how I got that job. So it was thanks to my mom and my sister. They had like told me about the place and things, and so applied. And then after that, then the head manager at the time, his name was Adam. Adam was literally the coolest manager I've ever had. Like, it's no disrespect to all the other managers I had, but and I'm like, y'all was cool too. But no, Adam was like, I ended up adding him, like we added each other on Xbox, and we were over here playing this racing game called Forza Horizon 3. So we were outside of like a manager and employee thing, like we were friends. And so I'm like, he was there. I remember on the last day, like it was like your favorite character from a TV show leaving. Like, nah, when he left, I'm like, bro, really, you just gonna leave me here by myself? Like that's how you can't even bring me with you? I'm like, bro, like I will hide, like I will be a part of your family. I'm okay with that. Like it might look a little weird, like they just see like a grown black man with just some like random white family. I just go like, hey, I'm 12 years old, like just ignore the facial hair, like I'm 12. But anyways, but nah, he was a cool dude. But anyways, I think it was him that had called me and said like oh yeah, like come in for the interview and stuff. So my thing is like I'm not like really a suit or like business dressing type person, but because I'm like, I don't know. My thing is like I'd rather wear like a tracksuit or something that's like more sporty than wearing like some like slack pants and a button up shirt. Like at least like can I like because my like when I do these type of things, my mom always wants me to like, oh, make sure you tuck your shirt in and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I mean, I guess like yeah, it is presentable, but I'm so uncomfortable like that. I'm like, bro, can I literally just go in there dressed like Tupac or something? Like, no, I want to like show you what like Tupac be dressed like. Tupac, on no, that's not gonna be a good search. Suit, Tupac suit. Dang, there's not really a whole lot of good photos. I feel like I just business suit. Nah, that ain't it. But no, so Tupac, I think there is like it's the two of America's Most Wanted shirt. Nah, or music video. I think it's the music video. And there's like a way that Tupac is dressed. His shirt's not. Oh, I thought it was oh, I guess it is tucked in. I thought there was at a point in time where it wasn't tucked in. But anyways, but yeah, I'm like, I don't like when my shirt is tucked in. It just makes me feel like super super uncomfortable. But anyways, tuck the shirt in, and then my mom, she had to, cause I don't know downtown. So the job was in downtown Seattle. Seattle at the time being, it was a very very confusing place. But I managed to, like, figure out like where I need to go to and all of that stuff. So as the time like progressed on, I figured out Seattle and, like, all these different places, because I figured out the Nike store, my job, other stores, Target. I'm telling you, Pike Place Market. Yeah, Seattle, it can be a nice area. It's just like a lot of like homelessness. So it's, if you do come to Seattle, just be prepared for that. If like you watching like a Seahawks game on TV and they always show like that overview of Seattle, it might look like a beautiful city, but once you get on that ground part, bro, I'm telling you, it's be some crazy stuff. I ain't seen where people done peed on the sidewalks. Like, actually, like, there's this woman, I remember I was on the bus, and this woman was, like, literally in a squatting position, like, peeing on the sidewalk. I seen one dude, I think he had to been drunk, but he was laid out, and you seen, like, the pee stream, like, coming from him and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, bro, this is not normal. What? And I'm like, there was another time where that probably had to have been the craziest thing that's ever happened. But there was a stabbing, and for not in front of my job, but in front of one of the other locations. But I go to this location every day to visit another manager there. And so I remember that area. It was like kind of like blocked off a little bit, but yeah, it was like, yeah, they said it was a stabbing. I think it was the door person. I don't know if what he did, but I can't remember if he, or it was I think it was a security guard. Somebody had got stabbed in that area. But I was like, yeah, there's that area I worked in, there was like some crazy people that would be there. But anyways, back on, like, how I got the job and all of that, like the first few days, like the interviews and all of that. So anyways, so yeah, my mom's taking me there because I guess that was like a building that she used to be like, but well, there was the clothing store Nordstrom's like right across, so she had to know of this building. And then plus, like, right up the street, it was GameWorks. So we were in that. I remember I like going in that area as a kid. I just don't ever remember like the job that I worked at that place and things. I know I had to like maybe walk past there maybe a couple of times, but anyways, so I go there. I go there for the interview, and I'm like, I'm not nervous because it wasn't like it was my first interview. Like this, even though it was my first job, but I had been to like numerous interviews and stuff. Just didn't get the job. It's crazy, right? I'm like, I thought the interviews would go well too. I remember I thought, well, actually, I remember the Macy's interview. I thought that was good, but it was Chipotle. I'm like, bro, that's not a reason to like not hire a person. The guy was like, he was like, he wanted me to go home and to do some more research about how Chipotle got started. So he was more so like quizzing me. I'm like, bro, I'm not here for no quizzes. If I was here for a quiz, I went back to school. I'm like, I'm here to make money and to, get a job. I'm like, I don't care about all the, like, freaking when the business started, who was there and who was not there, freaking Abraham. I'm like, I'm not here for all of that. But that's what the guy, it was crazy because not too long after that, that's when Chipotle got shut down because they found, like, something going on with their foods that was, like, killing people and making people sick. So I'm like, dang, I probably would have lost my job because they laid off a bunch of workers and stuff. So, but anyway, so, I go there and I'm sitting there for the longest. And then I remember there was the one woman that walked up. She worked for catering. She was cool. She was like one of the coolest people I worked there. I'd never seen her mad, angry, anything. For those that had like for those that was working with me at like maybe like 2016, 2017, you might know who I'm talking about. But anyways, for those that did, like, her name started with an S. All right, so for those that work, but I'm like, for protection. Well, I don't think, because I'm not saying her last name. I'm just saying her first name. So but all right, so her name was Suzanne. Suzanne was pretty cool. I remember that was like one thing that was like she told me, and I'm like, you know what? I respect that. I'm like, when people be messing up on your name, I had a teacher that messed up on my name a lot. That was one thing I remember of hers, and she told me, don't ever call her Susan. I think it was Susan. I'm like, I respect that. I'm like, that's here now. I'm like, no, I will never ever call you Susan. It's either Suzanne or Susie. That's those are her two names, and so well, Suzanne was her real name. But anyways, so I remember she came up to me, and then I think she had offered me some water. And I don't know. I was just all like, "Nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need no water." And then it was the cashier. Me and her, we ended up having issues. Like once when I got hired on. But I remember that was like I think the first and last time she was nice to me. But I remember she came up and had offered me something. I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And then they ended up. I think she ended up coming back and handed me some popcorn and water. And I was just like, oh, thank you and stuff. I remember after that, then it was like, that's when I realized like popcorn was like a catering thing. I thought that was like a thing they sold all the time. Cause I remember when I started working there, I was like, always, because I was like, the popcorn was like, it slapped. It was good. So I'm like, dang, like, where's the popcorn at? I'm like, y'all just straight just hiding out the pop. Then when it was like a catering event, and I was like, oh, it's catering that be having. I'm like, all right, so I know who to go to now when there's popcorn in the building. But anyway, so then Adam, he was at a different location. But then, because he was like, dude, I'm telling you, like, Adam was like Captain America. I'm like, literally, this dude, like, ran the whole team. So he had, so he was like at one of the other locations working, killing it. And then he came over to the location and interviewed me. And that was probably the best interview ever. Like, that was, no, I'm saying, like, because he was, like, asking me about the job. And then it just got to a point where we were just sitting there, just like two friends just talking. And so I felt like that's, like, definitely that type of job was more so like, how are you going to be like around like your peers, like your coworkers and stuff. And I feel like that's like that's one thing that you should like determine, like, yo, is this person gonna be cool? Like, let's see how they are with the manager, then they're gonna most likely be cool with everybody else. But I remember when I was there at that place, at first I was quiet. Like, I was like, nah, I was super quiet because I'm like, I ain't really know anybody. So I'm like, I'm just gonna work, do my thing. And yeah, I'm like, I ain't gonna really talk to a whole lot of people and stuff. So they would start up conversations with me, and I was just all like, oh, it's like, hi. And I'm like, but I don't know y'all. So I'm like, I don't know. But anyways, then it was, then I remember I went home, and then after that, then he called me in for a second interview. And that was like pretty much, it wasn't even an interview. Like, he was showing me around the place and was like, let me know, like, hey, you got the job, but we're just here to just show you around and stuff. So, but yeah, it was cool. Then I got hired on. I remember I had to get my, food permit card, and then they gave me a uniform. But then I was like, oh man, I always remember I was wearing dress shoes. I remember the old supervisor at the time. She was like, she would always make fun of me for wearing them dress shoes, because I was like, my feet was in pain. Like, I know she can see it in my face. I'll sit here and be looking like this, like sitting on like the side like sofas that they had in the cafe area. And I'd just be looking like this, like, bro, I'm about to just seriously go in the back, grab one of them knives, and cut my feet off. I'm like, I really don't care. Like, there's not going to be nobody that'll stop me, because I'm like, you better back up. I'm like, I need to do this. But anyways, but no, it was cool. Then it was like, that's one thing that, if you work in a food restaurant, you're gonna have to get you some non-slip shoes. I feel like that's mandatory. That's something that you should know off the back. But for those that if you just start like a food restaurant like job is your first job, then yeah, that's something that you need to know. So you can most likely get like some shoes. You can just get you some like black shoes, and you could just get like some like waterproof spray and just spray the bottoms of it and stuff. So do that. But yeah, you could get like maybe some black Vans or some black Air Forces. Probably, they actually have like these like black like Nike boots that just recently came out. So it's like, you want some with some comfort, because I know I had like some like Converse like shoes when I was working them. They're Converse shoes. I remember I had 2 pairs. Dang, them shoes are still there. Dang, I didn't even get a chance to, because I was like, nah, bro, I was gonna take those, but dang. I did take the shirt though, because I ended up losing that job because of COVID and stuff. So yeah, it was crazy. I worked at that job for almost 4 years. It was almost it was like April. They had or was it March? I think it was March when they closed the place down, and then it was May, I think, when they called and told me like I was laid off. So Yeah, it was crazy because I was like just 2 months away from like 4 years and stuff. But I was because I remember they will always bring that up. I was like the longest running employee, one of the longest running employees, because by the time I had left, it was a whole new staff. Like it was a new supervisor, new managers, new coworkers. Literally everyone was new. So I was working there for some time, but it was like I think it was me and the manager. That was like probably the only two people that had been working there for longer than everybody else. But anyways, no, it was a dope job. I liked it. I thought it was a cool environment and stuff. But anyways, I'll probably do like some more story times talking on that should be the next story time talking about the customers that I had to some of the customers I had to deal with, because I'm telling you, them customers was in a league of their own. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Stay tuned for some more videos, and peace.